What's good? We back with another video, the Boxing Clinic. Basically talking about one time, all the time, Keith Thurman. Talked about the rumblings about him fighting regular WBA welterweight champion Lamont Peterson. Got a video on that. Really not fan like I gotta see it to stop my day to go see it. Give you a real quick overview of that. But it's a solid fight, and I understood Keith only fought one time, I think last year. So I think he's trying to fight 3 times, so that's a stay busy fight. I have no problem with it. But at this point, what's the better option for Keith Thurman to go to? Because he's calling out Manny Pacquiao, and I definitely understand that. With Manny Pacquiao fighting Jeff Horn in Australia, that's going to be a record-breaking fight over there. I'm glad they have it over there and not here. And hopefully it's on regular HBO, but it's probably going to be on the top-ranked pay-per-view stream, which, still people are going to buy it. They always do. I'm not buying it. Never do. I'm not a promoter of pay-per-view. But then you got Kell Brook versus Errol Spence, which is the fight that, a large amount of people want to see, for the simple fact that, Errol Spence is one of the most avoided fighters, today. Whether you think he's been tested before, whether you think he's a good fighter, whether you already putting him on the Hall of Fame, I think, he is what he is. He's a polarizing welterweight amongst the fans that, quite honestly, he hasn't done anything yet to earn, the status of being polarizing. But he's so polarizing because he's so avoided. And, from Sammy Vasquez ducking out on him to Lamont Peterson ducking out on him. I mean, not be able to get an opponent where Floyd Mayweather was trying to sick Errol Spence on Keith Thurman. And Keith avoided it, but not really told him, if I beat Earl, you got to give me a definite shot at you, to Floyd Mayweather. That didn't happen. To the gym stories about him knocking out Adrian Broner, blacking, Floyd Mayweather's eye. That's why he's so polarizing amongst the fans. But, it depends on how he does versus Kell Brook. If he blows Kell Brook out the water, I don't think Keith is going to be in a rush to take that risk. But like Errol Spence said in an interview with Dante's Boxing Nation, shout out to them, he has no choice but to fight the same manager. He either got to move up, move down, move around, and drop the belt and let me get it. But, he's talking big, he's sounding confident, going into the Kell Brook fight. But like I tell people, it's not as clear-cut as you think it is. I mean, he's going overseas to that man's backyard. That's a challenge for anybody. We seen Demetrius, Andrade even coming off a long layoff, and Errol Spence is coming off a long layoff. He went over there and, he looked rusty, versus an opponent that, he could have, he beat already in the amateurs in Chicago way back when. And, he struggled. It wasn't nothing with the fighter. He just looked off. And when you go over somebody's country and travel abroad and have to acclimate to the time, that's the thing that you face the most, is getting acclimated to your environment, the time, the food, the air, the sun, everything that's different. The weather there, it's a different animal, and that's going to be opponent number 1 for Errol Spence going over there. And then of course opponent number 2 is going to be the crowd and the audience and the arena, the aura that is putting up. And then, finally him and Kell Brook in the ring and see what he does. And as far as Manny Pacquiao, everybody expects him to blow through Jeff Horn. And Errol Spence just called him out on TMZ Sports today. And that's another fight that a lot of people want to see. I heard somebody say in the boxing world, I can't remember who it was, that he would have no chance versus Manny Pacquiao. And people made the comparison about, well, Tim Bradley couldn't do this or this fighter couldn't do that. But they fail to realize that, like, Keith Thurman's mentality is more like Floyd Mayweather's than anybody else in the sport right now. He's a smart boxer. If you hit him with something he don't like, he's going to move and try not to make that mistake again. And from that standpoint, I think that gives him a shot, along with the athletic ability and the boxing skill. He wants you to think he's that one-time knockout puncher, but really, Keith's not. He's not that at this point. When you move up, the knockouts drop. Everybody know that usually. But he's a smart fighter, and I think it's a bad matchup for Manny Pacquiao. I'm not saying that Manny Pacquiao won't go out there and fuck him up. But I think from the simple fact that he fights just like Floyd from a safety first perspective, just with a bigger punch and just a naturally bigger body. I think like he made a point where like Timothy Bradley lacked in straight line movement, in and out movement. He has no in and out movement, and that's why he pretty much struggles with certain type of fighters, including Manny Pacquiao. He's good at moving around in a circle and boxing side to side, but going in and out with that coordination, I think Keith could give Manny Pacquiao a problem. He hasn't seen a fighter like that since Floyd. Moving in and out with his hands, being smart, long, reachy, big, welterweight. I can really see Keith, putting it on Manny Pacquiao. He's a big, strong guy that can move and can box and really smart. Not saying that Pacquiao ain't, but at this age, I mean, what it's worth for Pacquiao to go out here and take that risk versus a young lion. But after both of the fights, I just want to see him go ahead and take the Errol Spence fight if he beats Kell Brook or the Kell Brook. The young guns do it, and then the winner just get Pacquiao. We gone.